You probably clicked on this video because you're broke. If you're anything like me, you've experimented with almost every business model out there. Dropshipping, day trading, content creation, and no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to work. Matter of fact, even getting a job in today's economy is near impossible. So that kind of leaves this impression that becoming successful in 2026 is impossible. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. My name is Thomas. I'm a young entrepreneur who is trying to help out his generation in every way possible, and all I ask in return is that you subscribe and watch this video till the end so I can help more people. And you never know, I might just change your perspective on success. Ever since I was a young kid, I've always tried to avoid the mainstream education system. You go to school, you get good grades, you get into a good college, and then you study for 30 years of your life to become a lawyer or doctor, and, well, finally, you make $150,000 a year. If you're anything like me, then you've probably hated that route. I've basically tried out every money-making method out there, from dropshipping, reselling, day trading, to content creation, and frankly enough, while trying all of these, I thought it was impossible. I would set up 10 dropshipping stores with all of the money I had, and it simply wouldn't work. I did everything the guys on TikTok told me to do, and after investing every penny I had saved up, I failed. I was still broke, and I'd like to assume that you're in a similar situation as I was. You've tried everything, but nothing seems to work. You know, you're even thinking about going to school and getting good grades and actually getting a 9 to 5. Amen. To be honest, for some people, that might be the route. The first ever money-making method, one could call it, I did, was reselling, specifically with Pokemon cards. I used to be a huge fan of them, and like many other kids, I heard that they were expensive. You know, those Charizards going for $10,000, although I didn't pull any of those. I thought that if I could go to my local Pokemon card shop, buy something when it was at a discount, and then sell it on eBay for a higher price, I would make enough money to buy that Charizard I always wanted. As silly as it sounds, that was my dream back in the day. From the age of 10, I was already thinking about how to make money. That could be the difference between you and me. Some people just start trying at a younger age, meaning they succeed at a younger age. But don't let that discourage you, because you still have time. Don't worry about it. But back to my story. The reason I never got that Charizard wasn't because reselling Pokemon cards didn't work. Sure, it was slow, but I'm sure if I kept doing it for over 10 years, I probably could have made $10,000. So why didn't I? Well, as I grew older, man, I started to lose my spark for Pokemon cards. I just stopped reselling it, and that Charizard wasn't my life goal anymore. You know, I had other things, to impress girls in class, to do better at my sport, you know, to be stronger, to look better. I had other goals in life, so I stopped Pokemon card reselling, and matter of fact, a bunch of people in my class actually found out about it, and that made me hate it. To be honest, I quit gathering Pokemon cards altogether because other people told me it was cringe. Another story I have from my personal experience is with dropshipping. This was around a year after I'd quit Pokemon card reselling. I was now older, I knew how to use a computer, and I had just heard about this new crazy meta out there to buy your first Lamborghini at 16. Which was dropshipping. It was fairly new at the time. However, it was already saturated enough that you could basically hear it everywhere. People, even people at my school were talking about it. So naturally, I was curious about what this dropshipping is, so I looked into it. Turns out, it seemed to be one of the easiest ways to get rich. All I had to do was make a Shopify store and a TikTok account to promote it, and I was gonna make a bunch of money. So I thought, why not give it a try? You know, Pokemon cards didn't make me my first 10,000. But maybe this will. So what I did was I spent around a week looking for a product to sell, then I found a manufacturer. I even made a store already. Young old me made a Shopify store, and I'm still pretty proud to till this day that I did that. So I had everything I needed, a working Shopify store, a product. I was even willing to spend my hard-earned money on running Google Ads. So why was I still broke? You know, it seems that as somebody that young, putting in that much effort, you would expect to see results already. But I didn't. Matter of fact, I ended up losing my only $500 at the time, which is a lot. and I know that a lot of people don't even have such money to invest at the start. So I was fortunate, and I kind of wasted that fortune. And do you want to know why? Well, because I stopped. I had spent $500, and to be honest, it was kind of reasonable. I feel like any person after spending $500 on something and not making any money in return would kind of want to stop, kind of want to quit, you know? Emphasizing on that word, quit. So, although I had put in almost a month of work on my product and on my store, and I was sure that this was going to be the thing that makes me 10K a month, that this is the thing that I'm gonna retire my parents with. This is what's gonna make me a successful entrepreneur in life. It wasn't, and due to the sole reason that I stopped, if you've caught on to the pattern, you've realized something. It's not about the method, but about me quitting. I'll make it even simpler for you. You've probably heard of the statistic that 99% of day traders fail. They fail to make money. But what most people fail to realize is that if 99% of day traders fail, that means that 99% of day traders quit, because you can only fail once you quit. I constantly see people talking about, I tried doing this, I tried affiliate marketing, I tried drop shipping, I tried day trading, I tried YouTube, I tried content creation, I tried all of this stuff. Trying means you quit. Trying means you stopped doing it. If you were still doing it till this day, if you were still trying, if you keep trying, then you wouldn't fail. And that's something that people fail to recognize in today's world. The reason you're broke isn't because the method that you're trying to make money isn't good enough, isn't that you lack some secret tip to make you rich overnight. It's that you simply have given up. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're currently in that trying phase. Maybe you're currently trying something, and in that case, I'm here to tell you to keep trying, because in reality, the only way you fail in something, and the only way you stay broke, is if you let all the talk get to you, and you quit. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you use to make your money. What matters is that you don't quit. Thinking back at it, if I had never given up on that drop shipping store, I would have probably been further ahead in life than I am currently. But you know, that's just the consequence I'm gonna have to live with, because I gave up. So the final message for you guys is to keep grinding, to not give up, and to subscribe. Peace.